you on camera right now, so all this gonna be right there, all of it.
Okay, and when I ever ain't been real.
True.
Like somebody gonna be like, what?
So out of character.
Right.
So guys, I'm here at N3 in DC, shooting 2Techies in the city's capital. The nation's capital, not just the city. But I'm here with none other than the lady of finance, the queen of money, Miss Frugal and Make It, the weight loss queen, everything else she called herself, but she always getting it in. I'm here with my homegirl, Angel Rich. So, Angel, when did you fall in love with tech?
I actually fell in love with tech in 2009. I was randomly asked to lead a group of people in a Goldman Sachs portfolio challenge when I had walked in the library one day. And I immediately said to them, I don't know anything about the stock market and I've never done a portfolio challenge. And they said, oh, we're confident that you can lead us. And I said, okay. And we happened to be in the library, so they took me over to the computer and they showed me the stock market for the first time in my life. And I was a senior in college. And they showed me Yahoo Finance. And I was so fascinated by it that I spent the entire next month glued to my computer and watching CNBC. And I came up with an algorithm for the stock market and a whole regression analysis and all these other things. And we won first place in Goldman Sachs Portfolio Challenge. And we did positive 2% when the market did negative 2%. And at this point, people usually ask me, why didn't I start a hedge fund? But instead, I saw the opportunity to leverage technology to create some type of game to allow people to live out their financial life without the risk of them losing their money.
So what y'all gonna do is rewind that. There's about 6 key words you might just want to Google and look up. We're not gonna try to explain all that. Why are you so complicated all the time? It's beautiful. I love it. So now that we went through Goldman Sachs, regressive and progressive, algorithms, a lot of that, you're like, what exactly did she do? So basically, she made an algorithm to tell you how to trade stocks, and she was able to make money in the stock market, and she was able to actually go up 2% when most people were failing. So with that being said, what exactly do you do in innovation in tech?
Sure. So from there, I became a researcher, and we took all of the knowledge that we learned from the stock market and all these other financial principles, and we applied game mechanics to it. So essentially, we look at the different products, we break it down into the variables that make up that product, and then we figure out different engagement tactics that can go along with those different variables to turn it into a game to make it engaging. So our first game is called Credit Stacker. We basically reverse engineered the Fair Isaac credit reporting system, applied game mechanics to it, and you're able to play our game Credit Stacker and learn how to manage your credit at the same time.
All right. So, craft beer, craft cocktail, what will we be drinking?
Craft cocktail.
What are we drinking?
I actually have my bartender's license.
Okay. So what cocktail are we drinking?
So I have a drink that I personally make called Angel Love, copywritten. And it is citrus vodka with some grenadine, a little bit of orange, and some Sprite. And it's quite delicious.
We're going to have somebody make that for us tonight.
Yeah.
I
get that one. Yeah.
You know what? I don't even drink. Say it one more time. Tell us one more time.
Citrus vodka, grenadine, a little bit of orange juice, and some Sprite.
You need to make up a drink that got something dark in it. I don't do vodka.
Oh, okay.
Can you think about that? You got to tell us what it is before we get off the show, though. So you got about 15 minutes to come up with a drink.
Okay.
And you're going to call it Digital Grass.
Okay. I actually got one.
You want to tell? You already ready?
Yeah.
It's signature now. This ain't something that somebody else done did. This is you.
No, this is me.
All right.
This is me.
So here we go. Live, we're going with the Digital Grass drink, and we're going to actually record some of ourselves. Because when we drink, we drink. So go. What's the Digital Grass drink?
Okay. You're going to take some Captain Morgan's rum, some blue curacao. I don't know if you know what that is. Some blue curacao and a little bit of ginger ale. And you're going to mix that together, shake and not stir. And you got your digital underground. Digital grass.
Okay, we're going to try that tonight. We'll let y'all know how that goes.
Yeah.
We're going to take pictures. All right. If your business life was based on a movie or a TV show and we plugged into you, what would we be watching?
Steve Jobs.
Which one?
The original one, the first one.
Okay. Because you know it's like 8 of them.
Yeah, that first one, the first one.
Okay. What do you feel? Wait, why?
Well, I actually really learned a lot about myself when I watched this movie. I used to think that I was crazy.
I thought it was just me. I felt very connected. I've watched that stuff like over
I could
and
see that
over
because
again.
you and I think alike.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. We really do think alike. Because I'm not a technologist, but I could see the future in very real tech ways.
We create stuff, right?
Yeah, and he was the same way. You know, I've once fired somebody for programming my game in green and instead of blue, and they made the executive decision to do it in green because they thought green went along with money. And I was like, I specifically told you to do it in blue. I had already researched these colors. Do you have a degree in marketing? Anyway, and so when I watched the movie with Steve Jobs and saw that he could see the future so specifically, you know, I realized that I wasn't crazy. It's just a certain gift that I've been blessed with.
Talk about dreaming in color. We've had those conversations before.
Yes.
Don't see it in black and white. You dream in color. So if my dream is specific, you're not going to deter me from my dream.
Exactly.
All right. So
You have to stick to your purpose and don't let people throw you off your train.
what do you feel is one of the biggest challenges or struggles that you're facing currently?
Fortunately, my biggest challenge is too many opportunities. Being able to prioritize what actually would benefit not only me the most, but the world the most.
Right.
And I try to take a balance between that because it has really nothing to necessarily do with me. It's really more so the impact that my company can make with people in my immediate surroundings, with partners and different things like that, as well as the decisions that I make as a business leader and being watched as a representative of certain different communities.
I think I tried to count. Because when you say we are a lot alike, people hit me up with this like, what are you actually doing? I counted about 6 or 7 things you're doing. Am I missing anything? 6 or 7 things you're
Roughly high
actively
level,
on.
yeah, you're right.
Okay, 6 or 7.
Yes,
I know about 4 opportunities
yes,
and 3 things you turned down.
yes.
Okay. That's what it looks like to me, to be honest. That's what
Yeah.
I'm used to. And
Yeah.
people always ask me, how do I do it? I'm like, it's just what you do. Because you don't always do everything. You normally execute it to a certain point, then you pass it off. Because there's other
Precisely.
people more talented than you. But when you can talk to people and you can communicate, the offers come to you. You just are facilitating a lot of things.
You're exactly right. Right now, a lot of the opportunities that I have, like, you know, I'm now on the board of the Charter School Development Corporation, partner with HUD in 28 cities, and have built up a lot of networks with these financial institutions. So we're really excited to have Dominique Broadway come on now, and she can fully manage the strategic relationships. She's much better at that than I am. So I've been able to grow it to a certain point that I can hand that off to somebody that they can take it and score a touchdown with it, you know, and I can move on to something else that I can now build up, bring in somebody else that has the expertise to
Right.
be able to take that and run with it. So it's all about putting the appropriate things on your plate and then knowing when to dish them out at the same time.
I can dig that. So, on a technical side, what do you think were one of your milestones in your journey of your career?
My biggest milestone that I'm most proud of that I have never even announced is winning Best Learning Game in the country by the Department of Education amongst all learning games, period, in the country.
Wow. Congratulations. I remember, didn't you
I put it on Facebook so
on
my friends
Facebook,
know,
right?
but I've never publicly announced it in any media.
You do a lot to be so humble. How old are you again? Aren't you only like 25 or 27?
I'm 30, but
Really?
I'll take it.
You look very young.
Thank you.
You look very
Why
young.
not 19?
Go all the way there. No, you do, but you're always like very, I've never seen you not smile. You
Thank
always
you.
hug me like I'm a brother or a cousin.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
got a lot of good energy. I can dig that. All
Thank
right.
you.
So your genuine response, 2 words, diversity, inclusion.
More needed.
All right. So you're one person I can't really say this to. Like, you got all the resources and all the money, because you actually do have a lot of resources. I know. But let's just say $2 billion is on the table. Can't even tell you who called me, but they was like, yo, we got $2 billion. Call Angel. Tell her y'all can have the money, but she got to pitch it in 4 sentences or less. What's the pitch?
4 sentences or
4
less? I thought
sentences.
you said 4 words.
No,
Okay.
4 sentences.
4 sentences or less. Well, Wealthy Life creates financial literacy, education, technology games. Our first game, Credit Sacker, is the only credit game in the world available on Google Play and iOS. We won Best Financial Literacy Product in the country by the White House, Department of Education, and JP Chase. And as of recently, I am now one of the top 30 Black female founders in the country as identified by Google.
So you feel the aspect of being a successful Black woman as an entrepreneur in financial literacy is actually a solution to us fixing diversity and inclusion?
It might just be.
You know what? And the thing is, I bet you some people are sitting here watching this. They were like, wait, she pitched her own product. But people don't realize if we have money to empower ourselves, a lot of the solutions we're worried about, a lot of the problems we're worried about would be solved if we had the financial gains to do so.
Exactly.
That's why we do think alike. Because most people are like, wow, that just sounds like a pitch for a company. As soon as you said it, I was like, yeah. Because if me and you had $1 billion, we would go invest in other companies.
I was literally in poverty. Literally. There are currently 3 billion people in poverty right now. 1.5 billion of them have smartphones. So that means that with our product, we're able to at least reach half of the people in poverty. And it works. So why not leverage our product to actually go out there and reduce poverty and increase wealth distribution?
This is why I don't talk to you that often, because every time we talk, it turns into like 6 other ideas. I gotta execute some. All right, that's dope. By the way, I like that. You know what? And this is another one. I was about the world is yours. You get to choose a mentor. Most of your mentors you want, you actually get to talk to. But
that is crazy. But there is one that
if there was one, because I know 4 of them that you've talked to me about.
You're right. God has been good.
Yeah,
amazingly.
You kind of got Priceline. You know, you kind of got a couple of people in your corner. But what's that one mentor? Who's that one person?
Has been a good year.
And it's April.
Yeah, right.
It's April.
But Richard Branson.
Okay.
I would love to meet you.
John Guiding could make that happen for you.
Oh, really?
It's a place, Nectar Island, that they go to.
Okay. Yes, I've heard.
John can get us there.
It would be my highest honor to meet Richard Branson.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah.
That's gonna be our goal for the next year. For you to meet Richard Branson.
Yeah, that is my goal.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's always a soundtrack to life. If your life was a song or an album, what would we be listening to?
Oh man. That is a great question. Okay, what immediately came to mind was Lil Wayne Carter 2.
That's one of the better ones, so I can rock that.
Or Rick Ross, but I don't know the name of the album though.
The most recent one?
No, the one before this one.
I don't remember that.
The one before this one.
This one was more soulful, so I like this one, but the last one.
I also like the Nicki Minaj, the Pink Print, or whichever one. Yeah.
You had me with Lil Wayne. I was good with that. I'm more
rock. You know what it is? Actually, what the real soundtrack to my life is? The UGK double album. That really is the soundtrack to my life.
You sure you 30?
I'm positive.
You're just young with an old soul.
Yeah,
huh?
I'm secretly 80 inside.
All right. Yeah. Because we're already at a different turn point, but I don't do this to most people, but I'm gonna do it to you because I know you can rock it. We had a conversation last night about a potential deal we might work on. So that part I'll leave there. Mm-hmm. I told you about what I was doing. You told me about what we hadn't talked about what each other are doing, but we are almost on the same path. Mm-hmm. Why do you think storytelling right now and content development is so important?
I was about to get real deep, but I'm gonna bring it back.
No, go there. That's what it's for. Go all the way.
So as you know, I'm in the middle of releasing a book next week called History of the Black Dollar, where I'm going from all the way to the beginning of slavery to now and telling the different economic stories. And in this book, it depicts how when slaves first started making money, they was making 63 cents on the dollar in 1861. Mm-hmm. You know what black people are making on the dollar now in 2017?
No.
63 cents on the dollar. And
whoa, bring that back. Say it again. Just say it again. One more time.
When slaves were first allowed to collect wages as a part of the Union troops, they were making 63 cents on the dollar. When the slaves found out, they refused to accept their wages. Harriet Tubman never got paid until she was around 90 years old for her actual time in the service, but she continued to refuse her wages until blacks made equal money to whites. In 2017, blacks still only make 63 cents on the dollar, but the difference is we accept it. So a lot of people don't know that back then we were only making 63, that we started at 63 cents on the dollar.
I don't think they know that's where we at
So
now.
while there's been progress, has there really been progress? And so to me, it's a matter of telling the stories, to share how people before us have tried this generation after generation, but these stories get hidden and are conveniently neglected from the pages of our history books. Additionally, I'm coming out with a documentary, Untapped, that's showcasing untapped rising black tech entrepreneurs. There are so many people out here that have created different type of inventions. I even went to a class at George Washington University and studied this girl who made a product that created a micro generator that you put in soccer balls to provide light to Africa where there is no light.
I met her at South by Southwest.
Come to find out, the girl is black when I meet her. And so it's like, these stories just aren't being shared in terms of what's actually happening in our community from the past, the current, or the future. And it's important that we get those stories out.
I think what you're telling me is powerful, moving to a larger point, but where does it all change? And also another question I have, why you think about that? We talk about diversity, but sometimes we leave out certain things. Socioeconomics, gender is definitely focused on, but then there's ageism,
Yes.
What is it like to be overly talented, operating 3 to 6 companies, worked on a $2 trillion portfolio with Goldman Sachs before you were even 30 years old? How much do you have to break down before you get the respect you deserve when they say she's only 30?
That's why I stay humble.
Gotcha.
That's why I stay humble. First of all, it's hard for people to even believe a lot of the things that I've accomplished. Half the stuff that I've done, I don't even tell people about, just for their own ego.
Right.
A lot of people can't handle it. And I've been gifted with being able to see the future. So I don't want to abuse or take advantage of the fact that I have this gift, or the fact that everybody has their own individual gifts, And so I try to just be friendly as possible, help as much people as I can, but not to my own detriment, and just stay as humble as possible.
But do you think the opportunities allotted to other 25-year-olds that have the same kind of talent as you are being shunned away because they are only 25?
Oh yeah, I definitely think that a lot of people don't see themselves as being able to do things because of their age, I think I was 22. I was still in college. I think I was 22 years old when I became one of the first foreigners to ever enter China's secure areas. I'm the first black. I interned directly with the Chinese government, and I was the only black intern in the entire cohort. And everybody to this day asks me, what made you go to China?
She's humble. This is wow.
And it's like, everybody's like, you did what? And I was 22. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Did you graduate from college when you were like 19 or something?
No, I think I was 23 or something like that. Or 20. I might have been 22. So I was 21 when I went to China then. Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. So we're all in the game. What's going to be the defining legacy of Angel Rich?
Well, I've actually already accomplished it, but I would just like to go down in history for it.
What's that?
I am the author of the first African American financial experience study. The reason that there are currently blacks in life insurance commercials, the reason that these financial services companies are now interested in the black community, the whole reason behind this whole racial inequality thing being spun up again over the last 5 years. And fortunately, the Center for Global Policy Solutions finds it very important for history to notate that I am the author of that. So they're providing me the opportunity to present to Congress on it on the 28th. And I would just like for history to just note that, because that was very important to me, and it was groundbreaking and has changed the world.
35, you're going to be at a whole different space. 40, I could see you retiring if you wanted to. What are you doing when you're 35 years old?
When I'm 35 years old, I'll be a billionaire, traveling across the world, helping out different communities that need poverty alleviation, and providing them with the various different resources to connect them to the larger digital web that I've already built.
This isn't the first time you said this. Have you
This
said this to
is
yourself?
the first time I've said this out loud.
You said it to yourself, though.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
God has fortunately shown me the future at a very young age. So I know what I'm doing at every age until about 70. And that's how I've been able.
You know the thing is, Angel, I don't doubt you. I really don't. I really, if you don't have $1 billion in actual cash, you'll have it in assets. You'll have it in equity.
I have no doubt in my mind about that.
All right. So I'll put you in the hot seat. I always get asked the questions, but I allow people to ask me at least one question on camera that I have to answer. Why do y'all get so excited when I say that?
Okay.
Okay.
What is one weakness that you are proud of having overcome that you have now turned into a strength for yourself?
Ooh. Ooh, you gonna make me go there. Caring too much. Now, as much as I can be an asshole and as much as I can have a slick mouth, I've cared a lot of people in different things that most people would never know about. And that only slowed me down from my own personal progressions of building the things that could have helped me out. So a slight example, I could name 5 brands that have become 100,000 multi-million-dollar companies that at the time running Medium for, we probably did those projects for free, $250, maybe $500. But the same process that we're going to making a $10,000 or $20,000 brand psychology, color theory, research and development, hand-drawn logos. And most of those companies, when they made it to the next level, they never came back. They never hired us at our full rate or anything. So I had to get to a point where I would just tell people, no. Like, if I can't see it to grow my company, I have other businesses I can work on. And it was hard because our whole thing was, actually it was called Medium Forward. Our whole goal was we would work with companies when we knew they couldn't make it, but we had a very lenient contract. So it wasn't like we were trying to get equity. It was just like, let us make our money back, at least 10% more than what we know we're worth. But we know it may take some time. And people didn't appreciate it. So it's just now when people call me, it's like, you know, man, I got this idea and I need a logo. That's cool. I can't do it.
Yeah.
This thing called Fiverr, there's all kind of opportunities. And we now work less at our company and make the same amount of money. So now I'm in a position where I feel I can quadruple the amount of money we normally make, which will take us about the 1.2, 1.5 million by focusing on actually making money and not just helping people. But I dedicated my structure of how I help people. I do it on Mondays. I do it second Thursdays of the month. I had to actually take more time for myself, which then allowed me to realize you have to start taking time for people you love and care about. So it was a wellness thing. Put the phone down, stop working, just watch TV, just go to the movie, just have drinks with friends. So it was a balance. So it was a bad mistake. You always want to get on. You know, you want to be on. And I always tell people there's a difference between getting on and hustling. Then there's a difference between hustling and running a business. Then there's a difference between building a business and selling a business. And that progression. At this point, I'm comfortable saying I am the business. I'm like, you know, you give me an idea, I'm going to come up with a solution. If you don't execute, it's on you.
Right.
3 years later, I'm going to tell you, hey, remember when that happened?
Yep.
I've done that to Sun Sentinel when I told them that digital coupons was going to be the next hot thing. It was like, the Sunday newspaper would never die. Groupon became a $50 billion company. We had the whole Groupon structure with an actual one physical card. They told us it would never work. When they went bankrupt, I sent the president and I sent everybody a letter reminding them that I was a young graphic designer that came into their office telling them about digital coupons. So at some point, you just got to stop caring about other people and care about yourself. All right, so
Feel that.
How can the people find you on social media and get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can email me at angel@getwealthylife.com. Follow me at Wealthy Lifers on Twitter and AngelRich27 on Instagram.
So,
And Snapchat.
I know you like God and church.
Yes.
So I'm gonna ask you for the final word, but this ain't the Baptist church. You ain't gonna give me a whole nother sermon.
Okay.
So the final word, digital grass tradition, is one word.
Uh-huh.
Not a phrase, not
Faith.
a quick. There it is. That's my girl Angel Rich. Y'all have met the billionaire before she became a billionaire. This is immortalized with 2Techies. We want to thank her for coming out and want to thank N3 for allowing us to use their space. It's been Digital Grass. It's been a great one, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.